Oceans are rising. The Earth is becoming warmer. Or at least that's what scientists say. Anguish and frustration may be some things that you feel when you hear that global warming is approaching. But I say, bring it on. People everywhere call global warming a catastrophe. You've probably heard all of the effects. Scientists say carbon dioxide pollutes the atmosphere, it's going to warm the Earth, glaciers are going to melt, sea levels are going to rise, and land is going to flood. But I'm going to tell you just why these are good things. Richard Black, an environmental correspondent for BBC News, said, "Evidence suggests carbon emissions will likely put off the next ice age." That was said to occur in 1500 years, but not anymore thanks to carbon dioxide, or as science puts it, plant food. This carbon dioxide builds up in the atmosphere and creates what's called a greenhouse effect, and it holds the warmth of the Earth in. The New England Aquarium said that in the course of 150 years, 1850 to 2000, temperature globally rose 1 degree Celsius. But they also say that carbon dioxide is increasing, so that might get a little faster. The Environmental Protection Agency said that rainfall is also likely to increase. So more carbon dioxide and more rainfall. In the future, plant life is going to flourish. Not to mention there'll be warmer areas for growing crops. Another situation is the rising oceans from the melting glaciers. It's said to flood miles of land. But the EPA says that there's actually a lot of land that's elevating faster than the oceans are rising. And that kind of shows you just how slow the oceans are rising. People will evacuate. But when the ice caps melt, there will be a clear trade route through the Arctic for Asia, the United States, and Europe. That's tens of thousands of kilometers shorter than current trade routes. And if you're worried about volcanoes that may be uncovered from ice melting and that it's going to make the Earth even warmer, the New England Aquarium says that volcanic eruptions actually contribute to climate cooling rather than climate warming. So imagine a world, our world, a little bit warmer, but with cheaper produce because it'll grow in bounties, easier foreign trade, less cold-related deaths, and cold kills twice as many people as heat does, and the knowledge that we're protecting our future generations from a global ice age. About 100 or 200 years ago, we were looking at one of these two futures. I don't think now or then anyone could tell me that this future was more safe or sound, more secure than this future. Dennis Avery, the author of Unstoppable Global Warming, said, 2,000 years of published human histories say that warm periods were good for people. It was the harsh, unstable Dark Ages and the Little Ice Age that brought bigger storms, untimely frosts, widespread famine, and plagues of disease. But I will tell you something negative about global warming. From 1989 to 2009, the federal government spent $79 billion of taxpayers' dollars for research and resources for global warming. And there's a growing consensus to put a tax on carbon, meaning you may have to pay in the future for the amount of carbon emissions that you put into the atmosphere. What I want you to do is I want you to write Congress, I want you to write representatives, tell them you've had enough. Become involved in the laws and bills that are being passed, vote, but mostly I want you to just put an end to the hype that surrounds this topic. And together we can show that global warming truly is a good thing.